You're looking at a live look of the Volkswagen booth here at the Jacob K. Javits Center, and we're really excited to welcome in Mark from Volkswagen. Volkswagen's a great brand. Under the brand is Lamborghini and Bentley and all sorts of other great car companies, including Porsche, who we'll have on later. Talk about some of the new Volkswagen cars. I think we just looked at a Golf kind of SUV.
Yeah, so that's the Golf Alltrack, which goes on sale later this year. And essentially that's an all-wheel drive version of the Golf Sport Wagon. It's got raised ground clearance, so it's kind of a crossover, but more sporty crossover than most crossovers. It's got a 1.8 litre turbocharged engine, making 170 horsepower. Fun to drive, which is one of the brand sort of pillars, as it were. Like I say, that car goes on sale close to the end of this year.
What's the price point going to be on that car?
We haven't announced the pricing at the moment, but you can buy a pretty well-equipped regular sport wagon with an automatic for about 24 grand, so it shouldn't be that much more.
That's the thing I like about Volkswagen. I had a Jet I paid 15 grand for. You get great German engineering, great craftsmanship, a great car, handles well, drives well, good acceleration for a very reasonable price. And we're not talking about that many years ago that I bought that car, and now you're talking about having all-wheel drive and some other features, in the $24,000 to maybe $30,000 range, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we like to think of ourselves as is the people's car at the end of the day. I mean, that's what the name means, and we like to make sure that we have a lot of safety features on the cars. The cars are really, really well engineered from that point of view. And also, we've really done a good job, I think, recently of democratizing safety features. So, a lot of our cars now have available adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, where the car will basically stop on its own. So I think we've been doing a pretty good job of democratizing safety.
You always have good leasing programs and financing programs, a lot of times 0 down 60 months. You also usually offer very low introductory lease rates, like $200 a month. And so that's always very nice. You always have or a lot of times you have the, sign and drive deals as well. Additionally, I just always have had this fondness for Volkswagen. The old Beetles, the Thing, way before that. And Volkswagen kind of spawned a lot of car companies. Porsche, for instance, was spawned because of Volkswagen and then came into the fold. And I think that's amazing. And wonderful. And I learned to drive stick shift on two cars, two very different cars, an Acura NSX and a Volkswagen Corrado, which I liked, which was basically the newer version of the Scirocco, which I thought was an awesome car as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're still one of the few car companies that offers a lot of vehicles with manual transmissions. So the Alltrack, for instance, from December will be available with a manual transmission. At launch, it's available with an automatic. But we still have, my kids... my wife actually's got a Golf, a base Golf, and it's got a 5-speed. And I actually quite often like to steal that car just because it's got a manual transmission. It's part of the fun to drive to me. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes not New York City, but definitely out and around and beyond the city limits. Certainly is. I still like a 5-speed, a 6-speed manual transmission. Talk about how the technology has changed and the fact that you guys are now looking into the future of all sorts of alternative fuels and some other things.
Well, one of the concept cars that we've got on show is a thing called the BUDD-E, which is basically the 21st century take on the microbus. And this is a new platform that we're showing. It's called the MEB, which stands for Modular Electric Platform. That's the rough translation of the German. It's got a 101 kilowatt battery. It's got 233 mile range. It's also got some really, really cool connectivity features, some really neat entertainment features like screens that are totally configurable. So you can literally take your hand, move one piece to another place, and so on.
That's very cool. Yeah, so if you want, like, maybe the air conditioning here instead of here,
you can do that. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's really neat. It shows what you can do with modern electronics. So, we're getting into the stage where we've got a lot of good connectivity in the cars, and we just brought in something called App Connect.
Yeah.
So you have basically iPhones, Android Auto, all have the ability to play through the head unit.
That's excellent. Is that so? That would work, I guess, with CarPlay from Apple.
Correct.
And Android. I forget what it's called.
Android Auto. Yeah.
Android Auto. You've got here. We're looking at a shot of I think the Golf Sport Wagon. Is that correct?
That's the Alltrack. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Alltrack.
Yep.
No, that's the Sport Wagon. I think the Alltrack was next to it.
That's Alltrack.
Oh, that is Alltrack.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. And so next to it was the bigger car. That was the electric. Or there's the electric.
BUDD-E, yeah.
There it is in white.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool looking. And that's 233 miles on a charge.
Yeah.
Wow, very, very cool. That's the Alltrack. Very nice. I like wagons. Wagons are good, especially in all-wheel drive.
I like wagons as well. They're kind of, the current craze of everybody is crossovers.
Yeah.
And, a wagon is just that little bit lower, so you get, better ride and handling at the end of the day.
You get more of a car instead of less of a truck.
And the packaging is very similar to a compact SUV. It's got similar amount of trunk space with the seats up and folded.
What was that huge thing we looked at in the beginning then? The big truck, it was big and red. What is that? That looked like a 4x4. Right on the edge of the
it's probably the Touareg.
Oh, it's the new Touareg.
Yeah.
Wow. That looked awesome. That looked very different. And so the 233 for the MPB, 233 miles on a charge. Is that going to be available anytime soon, or is that just strictly a concept?
Basically, the platform that we're showing is going to underpin some electric vehicles of the future. I don't know when they're actually going to appear, but they will appear at some point in the future.
Sure. Very, very cool. And what about what else do you have? You have one more concept as well.
Yeah, we have a thing called the Tiguan Active Concept GTE, and that's a plug-in version of the new Tiguan. And the Tiguan, which goes on sale in the US next year, is an all-new vehicle. It's based on what we call our MQB platform, which is the same as the Golf.
That looks like it could be right out of Jurassic Park.
It does a little bit. This is a European version of the Tiguan, so it's a shorter wheelbase than our one.
Okay.
But this one's got some special off-road features. It's got better ground clearance. It's also got better approach and departure angle because of the front and rear bumpers.
Sure.
So it's basically designed to look like an ultimate extreme version of the Tiguan for off-roading.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I always wanted to go off-roading. Never accomplished it very well, but I like the idea of going off-roading. Have you ever been?
I've done off-roading. Actually, at the weekend, I was at a racetrack, and I was going to look at my son racing my new car.
Yeah.
And I used my Touareg to do some off-roading. I got back, and somebody said, "What were you doing with that? It's covered in mud." I said, "Well, it's an off-roader. I did some off-roading."
You let him do racing in your car.
Yeah, I've got a 91 Golf GTI that he started racing in.
You guys are starting to do some rallycross too.
Global Rallycross. Yeah, we won the championship last year with Scott Speed. We're running the Beetle. It's a really cool vehicle because it's 560 horsepower, all-wheel drive, serious racing machine. And so we were geeked about that last year.
That's pretty cool. And then you've got, of course, the Jetta and the Passat in the lineup as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Jetta and the Passat are like our bread and butter, as it were. Passat was newly redesigned last year, so it's got new front bodywork, new rear tailgate. It's got a new rear bumper, so the appearance was changed. But we also did a lot of work on the safety structure, and so that car's now an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. We crashed it last year, did very, very well. It's got a lot of driver assistance features.
It always sounds so terrible. We crashed it last year.
Oh, it's horrible. Seeing a crash test is like the worst thing.
I actually enjoy watching them.
Well, it's if you're a car enthusiast, it's the death of a car.
Well,
at
that's
the end
true.
Of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jetta we're pleased with. It's now got a 1.4 turbocharged engine as the base engine. It's making 40 miles per gallon on the highway, so that's we're pleased about that.
And it's offered in diesel as well, which is a great alternative. These days, you're getting like 80 miles to the gallon on diesel, aren't you?
Well, at the moment we can't sell diesels because we have there's a stop sale because of the EPA. But but you could get we were getting like regularly with all of our diesels over 40 to the gallon on the highway. So.
Kevin, ask him to get a shot of that white vehicle in the back. That's the MPB, and we've got to show that off. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, the BUDD-E. It's cool.
Tell him the BUDD-E. Tell him the one with the like green teal grill. Yeah. So a 91 GTI, that, if I remember correctly, was definitely a very, very cool car. Probably had about 174 horsepower.
No, this one's like an 8-valve, so it was originally like 115, I think. So this one's 150 horsepower now.
150 horsepower. And do you have a roll cage in it?
Oh yeah.
Wow, very cool. This is the BUDD-E. Look at that thing. This is 233 miles to the gallon. I'll tell you what, I would take that now. I would want that. That could be the BeTerrific vehicle. We could load all this gear in there and then drive electronically. with electric power.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That would be cool. That is like a microbus. That is so cool. He's got to show us the interior. I like that. If you could talk to the people of Volkswagen and tell them, make that, you'll sell a lot, that would be great. I know it's just a concept, but I always love concepts. I used to say, concepts, you'd come here and see a concept 15 years later, you might see some of the features in the concept in automobiles. Now it's like a 2 to 3 year progression. Is it possible we might see something like this in 2 to 3 years?
We might. I think it would be a bit further off.
Okay.
The idea of an MPV type vehicle on the electric platform is being kicked around in Germany, but there's no guarantee that we'd do it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things is we want to get some clinic information on anything we put out.
Sure.
So one of the places you get some clinic information is what people think of it when they come to an auto show.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
233 miles on a charge, and that's awesome. Get the Jetta, the Passat, the Golf Alltrack, the Golf Sport Wagon, and all the other Volkswagen vehicles now. Pretty much. Place your order at least. Right?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good.
And find a GTI and restore it like this guy, or build it like a 91. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I mean the new GTI is,
well,
it's incredible the advances you've made.
I know, but sometimes it's fun to get in an old car, isn't it?
We've got really good heritage with all of our vehicles, with Beetles and GTIs.
Are you guys still doing the R32?
We do the Golf R. So
Okay.
Golf R is now it's 292 horsepower,
Wow.
all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, basically. You think about it. A Lamborghini, when I was growing up, a Countach could just about do 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds.
Right.
And now you've got a $36,000 hot hatch that will take 5 people and luggage and goes just as fast from
It's
0
amazing.
to 60. So
It's truly remarkable. Well, have fun with your GTI, the 91. I'd love to see that. What color is it? I imagine it's black.
no, it's blue actually.
It's blue. I like it.
Yeah,
Very
nice.
cool.
It's a nice little car.
Well, have fun. Thank you, Mark, for coming
Okay, well,
on. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Good. Thanks for having us.
It's great to have you on, and we'll have more coverage of the New York International Auto Show as an official media partner right after this. You're the Terrifics. Stay with us. You make BeTerrific special.